Hello everyone and welcome back to another Party Animals tips and tricks video. Today I'm going to be breaking down 5 really advanced tips that pro Party Animals players use frequently in their games and that many other people don't know about. Now let's get started. Number 1, the bomb cancel. This trick is honestly really cool and it's the trick that I definitely see the least of. Not many people seem to know about this. You perform this trick by 1. Finding and grabbing a bomb. 2. Holding down the throw button. 3. Pressing headbutt and then releasing the throw button shortly after the headbutt. This effectively cancels the distance on throwing the bomb by headbutting the bomb and pushing it downwards. Usually when you pick up bombs, the natural reaction for everyone is to start running towards you, because while bombs are really powerful, they can only be thrown at a long distance and they're quite bad close range. But with this trick you can completely negate this weakness. It will completely catch your opponents off guard. It will allow you to be a lot more flexible with the bombs. It's fantastic on conveyor where there's a continuous stream of bomb spawns, and fantastic on maps where there isn't much space to stand on, like Gator Valley and Winter is Coming. Throwing bombs far away on these maps tend to just go out of bounds so people don't really respect them, but now they're extremely deadly in your hands. I highly suggest practicing this in the custom game of Conveyor so you can have a constant flow of bombs. And since you have to delay the throw after the headbutt, you need to get a feel of the timing. If you're not getting it down, don't give up and keep practicing. Number 2, dragging into spin throwing. This is a trick that you can use in lots of different scenarios in Party Animals. If you watched my 50 tips and tricks video, I previously showed you 2 different kinds of tips. Dragging items or bodies along one-handed is faster and easier than doing it two-handed, and spin throwing bodies by their heads to launch them a far distance. Now, what if you combine both of these tricks? Here's how you do it. You knock out a player, line up one of your paws on their head, then start dragging them along. Pay close attention to which hand of yours is doing the initial drag. Then, when you drag them to the edge of the map, you have to do a 360 spin in the direction of your initial paw grabbing on. For example, if you're dragging using your right hand, you have to turn so your character's face is facing towards the body you picked up. So, both of your paws line up like this. Now hold the throw button and then continue to spin, and then let go once they're at the edge. If you go to the opposite direction, you'll be holding people's heads behind you like this really awkwardly, and you can't really throw people this way. It is extremely useful for carrying all sorts of objective items, such as carrying coal on your train in Fluffy Redemption while seamlessly turning around and dumping it into the furnace, dragging tiny gummies to throw them up this ledge in Lollipop Factory, and bombs on Trebuchet. It's also fantastic at securing a two-handed weapon. You can drag it away from a group of people and then turn your character into the handle like this to quickly equip it and start causing chaos. Hey you! Enjoying the video? Please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel to help me out. Thank you! Tip number 3, surviving the wind on Wind Tunnel. If you ever find yourself thrown off the platform on Wind Tunnel just as the wind turns on, fear not, you have other ways to survive. Keep in mind that this next trick only works on the first fan per round. When you fall off, you'll notice this yellow border that surrounds the hole underneath the platform. This entire section is grabbable. You need to be either on the left or the right of the hole and not directly in front or behind it, as you'll just get sucked forward and die. Now, look at the floor and pay attention to the arrows. They show the direction of the wind blowing. So, the best place to stand is as far back as possible with the arrows pointing forward like this. Make sure you have max stamina before performing this trick. Wait until the wind starts blowing, then line both of your paws up like this so they're grabbing the yellow ground, and wait. You have to hold on with both hands here, otherwise you'll just lose too much stamina and this trick won't work. It's important at this point not to press any other button so you don't drain your stamina. As the wind continues, you'll notice your stamina very slightly draining, and then all of a sudden it will start draining really fast. Once this happens, push your character against the direction of the wind and also away from the hole while holding run, and you'll survive. This trick is really helpful if you're being camped before the first fan. If you have no other option, you can do this trick at the front near the fan that pulls you in, but it's a bit risky just in case you don't have enough stamina, or just in general, it's safer to be as far away from the fan as possible. Number 4, kicking while holding weapons. Everyone knows that kicking with ranged weapons is a decent strategy to protect yourself when your opponents get close. But did you know that it's so much more than that? You can use the kick in multiple different ways while holding a two-handed weapon. Once you pick up a two-handed weapon, the movement is very predictable and it's easy to weave in and out of its range. But with this trick, you can completely take your opponents by surprise. You can jump kick after starting a weapon swing to get closer to your enemies and extend the range of your weapon. It's extremely handy to correct a swing that would have otherwise missed. Another big problem with holding two-handed weapons is when you've knocked someone out, you're faced with a choice. Do you drop the weapon to pick up the enemy's body and then throw them off? Or do you keep the weapon just in case they wake up? Well, now you can do both. You can walk up to a knocked out body, stand completely still like this, and then tap the kick button. You'll launch bodies surprisingly far, and if they're close enough to the edge, it's a guaranteed way to help you launch them off without losing your precious weapon. Tip number 5, flinging. Flinging is definitely the hardest skill to perform in Party Animals, and while it's been bombarded with a bunch of stamina and input nerfs, it still remains a vital skill in any Party Animals' player's arsenal. It's not something that you should use all the time now, but it's still useful and shines on its specific moments. There are 3 types of flings: the basic fling, the item fling, and the delayed item fling. Default flinging is still great for distance, specifically at the end of conveyor on the side belts to stay alive. Item flinging still works on some objective items such as the small gummies and lollipop factory, the coal and fluffy redemption, and the ball on buzzball, but you can't use it on the rugby ball and beast football anymore. While the delayed item fling still works on everything, including the rugby ball and beast football. But also, don't forget that they completely disabled the item fling and the delayed item fling on the trebuchet bombs. All of these tricks now use a huge amount of stamina, around roughly 25% of your stamina bar, and it makes your stamina take a long time before recovering. You also have to be careful now about headbutting during any of these combos, as it will completely cancel out your other inputs and will make the fling useless. I won't explain everything else about the fling here, as it's quite a long topic for such a small rapid fire video. I have a full video guide getting into the details of it and how to perform its inputs, so I highly recommend watching that if you're new to flinging. Of course, that video was made before the flinging nerf, so that's why I wanted to give you guys a small update on this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to see more Party Animals tips and tricks video, I have a 50 tips and tricks video right here alongside the full in-depth video on how to fling. I also have another 50 tips and tricks video on the way, and there's a lot more Party Animals content on my channel. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much and goodbye!